Hi, everyone. Welcome to another talk with the Shape Up Us Summit. And today we're going to tackle the very difficult subject of bullying. Bullying of children, bullying of families, bullying of the adults in that family, and specifically vegan families. The UK vegan family is with us to discuss what they went through and advice they can give to all of you with raising vegan plant-based children, raising children, and the impact that bullying has on a family, what they went through, and just how super awesome the UK vegan family is. And I want you to hear their story, not just the bullying part. I want you to hear all about them as well. So, hey, Daniella and Adam, let's bring
Thank-
go for it. Tell us all about you.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Yeah.
We
I'm
are,
Adam.
yeah, it's usually you who introduces us.
Yeah, and this is
Adam,
Daniella.
Daniela. We're UK
UK
vegan
vegan
family.
family.
And there is another one who is in bed, thankfully, and that's Jack. And he's 3.
Yeah, he's
3
3
and a
years
half.
old. Yeah,
And we are based in the UK.
obviously.
Yes, obviously, because of the name. And you can probably tell from our accents.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you. I mean, we're just carrying on the fun and the laughter from before we went live or before we recorded this. So please share, how did the UK vegan family start? Let's start there and we'll just move forward.
Well, it started with you, didn't it? Really,
Yeah.
it all started there.
Because I used to do baby-led weaning with Jack, and I set up an Instagram page, like a lot of other moms, for baby-led weaning. And when we started our veganuary journey, which was March 2019, I said to I'd like to document this on Instagram because we're doing lots of different food. It might inspire people, but it was also to show people that, hey, we're not eating air, we're actually eating food, lots of food. It's healthy, it's nutritious, it's good. And we took it for there. We did some live streaming on Instagram, telling people how we were getting on.
And well, really as well, to show people what babies can eat if you put the food in front of them.
Yeah, and showing people what vegan children eat. And I mean, he was only 17 months at that part, but obviously we'd done the baby-led weaning. He ate, like a toddler would eat anyway. He ate meals of everything, no mushy foods or anything. So it was really to document our journey. But you had this great idea about going a step further, didn't you?
Well, yeah,
and I was not up for this.
Well, because I was on the Instagram page at one time, and I was trying to be like an outsider looking in. I thought, well, a picture and some description doesn't really tell the full story, so it might be best to do videos and put that on the internet to show the actual, what goes on behind the photo.
Oh yeah, what goes on behind the photo.
And it started off with our vegan journey, didn't it? It started off because we documented our day 1, day 3,
and
day
they
4.
are awful videos.
They are really bad. They're so cringy. I'm sure there's literally a video of me going something like, I don't care about animals or something like that.
That was very at the beginning.
That's what I mean. That's how cringy they are. I'm brand new, fresh, completely still got the blinkers on. But that's the reality of it. To some people, that is the reality, and it shows how I was naive to it, and it shows me progressively getting more and more open to the idea of animal ethics and
but
things.
You
like
were raised like everyone else in society. You weren't lucky like me. I was actually raised vegetarian, which meant that Jack was raised vegetarian, whereas you weren't. No. Adam had a much different journey to me.
So the first couple of videos that we did were so cringy looking back on it now, 2 years from,
It's 2 years, yeah.
2 years. But it shows the true story of how it became UK vegan family, really.
Yeah, we started off doing recipe vlogs. We did videos where Jack was helping make the recipes, and in the one video I'm doing crispy tofu, and I'm concentrating on recording, and in the background he must have been like not even 2. He takes a big bite out of an avocado skin, and I'm like,
Yeah, he
whoa,
literally
give
just
that
like,
back.
just grabs it.
And he's just like spitting it out on the video. And we've done like other things where he's in there, he's making hummus, he was always in the videos before any bullying happened, and it was good for people to see what we did. And we did like just days out vlogs, different
Yeah, but
restaurants,
product reviews as well.
yeah, stuff
We
like
were
that.
just trying to do everything at one time.
But
really,
we were
weren't
just at the time like a plant-based family.
Mm-hmm.
There was no discussion back then about the animals or the ethics. It was just, hey, we're vegan, we are vegan, but we don't talk about the animal ethics back then, because we hadn't really educated ourselves, really.
Well,
we were
we
very much health focused
were
back
health
then, weren't
focused
we?
back then.
Whereas now, 2 years on, we are doing visuals, and actually, apart from just raising awareness on what happens to the animals, we're talking about, different topics within the vegan family community. We've got a interview lined up, well, not an interview, a live discussion this week at looking at the language we use with our children. Now, for some people who are raising their children vegan, they might not know how to talk to their children about animal ethics. So now, instead of just that recipe day out side of things, it's very much being a voice for the animals, but also being a voice for vegan families and their children. So that's kind of how it's become. But it was actually through the bullying that it kind of got us to this point. So although it was horrible and I never want to be there again, I mean, it is likely to happen again because we have a presence on YouTube, but we gained so much from it, and we gained a community who supported us through it, didn't they? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is I know the story, so I'm it's weird to say I'm excited for other people to hear the story, because it's not one of those like, oh, I won $1 million stories, but in the end, good came from this. Like you said, you built a community, and you learned some valuable lessons. And we were talking before we started that I know a lot of vegan families where their children are front and center on their social media.
Yeah.
Prevalent on their social media.
We were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, that's a great segue to what happened.
Okay. So
we used him at the front and center to
he
show people,
was,
because our whole thing about the UK vegan family was to show people like you can raise children
and they're healthy,
perfectly healthy, on a well-planned plant-based diet,
innocently sharing his face on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. I mean, I shared him but all over.
Going to the question, because I just wanted to mention that since then we've had to take a step back because of the bullying, and you can fire away now.
Yeah, so because of the bullying, you will never see him anywhere. If he is in a video, his face is blurred.
Yeah,
we've taken those previous videos with the tofu off and set them to private so that people can't see him. But basically what happened is we were innocently just enjoying what we were doing, and I shared personal pictures on my personal Instagram of Jack since he was a baby, and I'd shared pictures of my weight loss journey. Within the last 10 years, I've lost about 4.5-5 stone, not just through veganism, but I have lost a lot of weight. So I was very proud of that and sharing my own personal health journey. I've gone from an insulin dependent diabetic with a pump to on no medication at all. And I shared this picture of my running. I'm a vegan runner here in the UK, and it got picked up by the anti-vegans. I'm not going to name any Instagram channels or any YouTube channels. The YouTube channel was a very, very big in the bullying scheme against vegans. I'm not going to name them because I don't want people to go and give them any attention. But they picked up my photos and then found my personal Instagram. So they did like a bit of a search on me, and they did this big post about me and our son. There was a few of you, but there was pictures of Jack when he was a baby. There was pictures of him in his swimming stuff, all personal stuff that I had innocently put on my personal Instagram. Never thought for 1 minute, hang on a minute, this isn't a good idea, because you've got no reason to. You don't know what is out there until it actually happens or someone tells you. And lots of vegan parents put their beautiful children on social media because we're proud of our children. They're the future of this generation and we want to show them to the world. But when you see your beautiful child on one of these hateful pages, it's a shock. But not only that, you're being, oh, look at this family here. Oh, that's UK vegan family. Don't tag them because then they'll see this post. It was actually a kind vegan runner who didn't know who we were, didn't know who I was, because it was particularly aimed at me, that said, really don't want you to know about this. I don't want this to upset you, but I've seen you on a post on social media and you need to, whether you've seen it or not, I need to tell you. And I was just faced with all our photos, beautiful photos from our engagement. They'd done a big one on us, but there was things there that said they're child abusers. Daniella looks like she's aged. Her face is all wrinkled and she looks really ill. And they were trying to say that I had a food, what is it called? Like anorexia. I mean, I love food.
Bulimic or
God
knows what.
Food. That's I love food. I certainly don't go without food.
And
None
it's
of
not
us
just
do.
the photos either that they've taken. It's like they've put a massive almost a story.
Yeah, there's a story. They've done a lot of research.
What only could be described as bullshit underneath it. That they'll take little snippets of truth and then construe it to the point of where it's like.
I think the one thing they got right, there was even a breastfeeding photo of with Jack, and they put, oh, at least she breastfed. But what happened from this post was this big anti-vegan YouTube channel put, I'm going to do a video about her. So we investigated that, and within that same 20 minutes, Adam came across this video, and this person had stalked our social media, stalked our YouTube channel, and did this wonderful thing about all the food we were eating. Look at the food they're eating. She'd skipped past a picture of me from my pre-vegan insulin pump. I was obese, to this picture of me, very slim in my running gear. She completely ignored that, didn't want to show people the health transformation, but just showed all our food and was ripping the mick basically. And then showed this picture of me back in lockdown where I'd been doing my own eyebrows. I've got mum hair. It was windy. I hadn't got my sunglasses on. I was squinting.
You were squinting.
I was angry.
You wear glasses.
I wear glasses and I hadn't got them on my face. I was squinting in the sun. And I was doing this without even realizing. And she's just zoomed. I mean, it was, I can't even do it now.
She's doing this
But apparently I had black teeth and a white tongue. All this other stuff. My eyebrows were falling out. I never saw the comment section. You did. And it was degrading. For somebody who perhaps isn't as supported as I am or as strong as I am. I mean, it did get me. It did get me low. That could have consequences on someone's mental health. And there were so many nasty comments congratulating this person on this achievement, this absolute find that she'd found. And it was heartbreaking for me. I saw this, I just broke down and I was just like, wow. And then it uncovered a complete community where these anti-vegans will go over social media. They will use the hashtag vegan children, hashtag vegan parents, hashtag vegan families, vegan kids, raising vegans, and they will take your pictures of your children and yourself, because I've been on other social media things.
Because on the profile that we first found out on Instagram, there was a lot of children on there.
Yeah, there's loads of children, innocent children, and they've taken
and some big, well-known vegans
Freely's
as well.
on there as
Freely,
well
we
with
got,
her
I think
children.
Earthling Ed's on there, Joey
Yeah,
Carbstrong's
I mean,
on there.
going back to the social media
the-
page for you, I
yeah,
know when
yeah.
you were going. There's just innocent children everywhere with the names of the Instagram page hidden,
Pages,
and
yeah.
this is what you've got to be aware of.
But the
if
thing
you're going to
is,
share
it
them.
doesn't matter because they've hidden the profile. Someone in the comment section will, what's it, what's the word, dox it? Will quite happily spit out who they are and where to find them. They'll even put a
Yeah.
link. So it doesn't matter about the profile,
Well, it was
not
what they did to
sharing
us.
the profile details. The comment section will happily do that, and they do that.
But what Adam was saying a moment ago
Because
is,
I'm sure in the comment section, there was like, who is this?
yeah, someone
had put UK vegan family.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
But what Adam was referring to a moment ago is my face. This person did 2 videos of me. Each one had about 10,000, 11,000 views. My face was up with some of the big ones. Mick the vegan was up there. Joey Carbstrong was up there. James Aspey was up there. Quite a few people. Even Dr. Gregor was up there. So looking back now, it's quite funny because we did a response video as like a warning. We never mentioned the name. We didn't want to mention the name. We just wanted to warn people and correct the misinformation about us. And that video received about 1,100 views, and it was called Vegan Body Shaming. And we grew from that moment.
Grew a lot. Followers, the supporters and the following grew.
Yeah,
traction considerably.
I spent weeks.
I think a lot of people feel the same way as well.
Yeah, they did, and they were shocked at what they'd heard. And I spent weeks and weeks and weeks searching through all these hashtags that I've just mentioned to find other families to say, do you know about this? And if not, this is what we are up against. And I had a list of all of these channels, these YouTube channels and Instagram pages that people needed to know about. And one of them in particular, which I will mention, is called Vegan Eyes 2020.
But she goes under so many different aliases. She even poses as a vegan.
She posed as a vegan and was actually following our page.
And accesses your profile.
Yeah, and then changes, no longer vegan anymore. So they are angry at vegan parents, and they say
and the thing is, this Vegan Eyes will say, I'm not no longer vegan anymore, and then put some, not like bullshit again, and it might make other vegans go, oh, hang on,
yeah,
it didn't work for her. It might not,
that's what they do.
She just makes people second guess. She's what's the word I'm looking for? A master of misinformation.
She is a master of misinformation. But what shocked me is that this person is a parent. And what parent shares pictures of people's children on social media without their consent? Vegan or not, I would never do that to somebody's innocent child. But you've got to make a decision. You share your children on social media and you're wise and you know about it, or you do what we did and then get faced with the consequence of they'd even done a TikTok video about us, which we had to get removed because our boy was there.
Yeah, and that TikTok, how much TikTok gains traction as well. You could make a video, go to sleep, and in the morning you'll wake up and it says your video has had 30 million views or something like that.
So you've got to be careful if you're watching this and you are a parent sharing your children on there. You've got to be tactical. And one thing we were discussing before we started chatting was maybe consider the way in which you take the photo. Perhaps don't get the eyes in.
Yeah, you need to be tactical. You need to be either doing a bird's eye view in front of them, with hands like that, and then a plate, or a behind the head photo looking down onto it. You need to be mindful of how you take your photos for your children, because it's not just anti-vegans that might get your photo neither.
You just don't know this is the thing, you don't know who's looking at your pictures, and that is the biggest thing for us to learn. That
we did it the hard way.
yeah, we learned the
We've come
hard
out
way,
stronger.
but we have come out a lot stronger. And since this, we started doing live streams, talking to other families, how they go through family life, and virtually meeting lots of other vegan families, and just talking about these things. We have to talk about it. We also had the wonderful opportunity to interview Marissa Miller-Wolfson following this, because she saw an article that we were in,
our story.
We're vegan parents fighting back against this, and she saw our story and she got in touch, and wow, that was so many good things came from this. But if you aren't that lucky to have like a positive thing come from something so horrible, then you've really got to be careful, really. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think so. You have to remember that it's not the end. If you are targeted, sometimes it can feel like the end of the world, and this big massive pit is just sucking you up, because you'll scroll through the comments and you just see hundreds and hundreds of comments with likes and dislikes, and people commenting back and replies and
it's projection at the end of the day.
You just need to know that it's going to be all right. It's fine.
Yeah, it is going to be all right. Definitely. So, yeah. It's fine.
These people do not know what they're talking about. They're just making a quick buck off your child's photo, and it's not right. I think YouTube should take more action.
They don't. This is the thing, actually. It reminded me. We did report this.
It came under some of the videos and things came under fair use.
Well, we reported this.
How is that? How is that possible to use someone else's child's?
I don't know, because they were using our content, but we reported this, and it wasn't just us who reported these two videos. It was hundreds and hundreds of people who found out about it, and the comment section got closed, thankfully. But the original instigator on Instagram reached out to me and said, "I'm sorry." Yeah, they did. They said, "I'm sorry." And I know I didn't forgive them. They had watched our video, and yeah, they said that they would never, ever do that again. They would never publicly shame a vegan family or vegan children ever again. Yeah. So just be careful when you are.
I don't know whether that's true.
No, you don't. But our pictures were removed. So yeah.
It's a shame we couldn't say the same for all the rest of the families on there.
No. And obviously the videos of me are still on YouTube, but yeah, whatever. It's a life lesson now.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's absurd that this even happened. I'm glad you got an apology and that was removed. However, was the lesson really learned if the other families are still up on that person's Instagram? Just because you made the stink and you said, no, this isn't true. How could you do this? Please remove this, or like whatever. Just stop being a dick is basically what it is. You don't know me. You don't know who I am. You don't know how I raised my children or my child. You don't know our relationship. You see pictures that are static on social media, and you came up to your own story as to what's actually going on.
Yeah.
That's not reality. And there are millions, obviously, of people out there who want to create a false world to suit their what's the word I'm looking at? Help me out.
Bias?
Their bias, or their
reality that they live in. It's like a different reality.
It's like, yeah,
right.
Like reassurance.
Like they were they were venting so much hate towards us. I mean, I sort of use the term vegan phobic in a way, because they are really anti-vegan, aren't they? They are really prolific for the hate.
Because we did do a talk on whether like vegan phobia is the true word to use,
and it's a description of real hate and fear of someone or a group of people. So
I think it
does fit exactly what happened to us. And this YouTube channel makes a lot of money off bullying.
Yeah, that's
a lot of money.
So that's what the messed up part to me is, that they have the followers to make money off of YouTube, and they're making videos that are not real, and
We're
making
not
money off of
making
it.
any money, neither are we.
No,
We're not here to
we're not
make
here.
money. We're
No.
here to have a presence, because there's not many vegan families like us on YouTube. I don't know of any other ones that are doing live streams about the subjects we discuss and interviewing children's authors in the vegan world. And yeah,
But
there's
in a way, it's kind of shut us down. Like the thing that we tried to start to share with everyone, we've had to kind of step back and stop that and do something else.
yeah.
Because that, like, we can't do that with people like that on YouTube. How you just can't do that.
You
Or
have to be so careful now.
we've had to be tactical with what we do now, and I think that's the way we have to do it from now on.
I mean, if we wanted to do a video with him, which we'd love to, he's got to have his face blurred because he's 3 years old. He doesn't need to be on social media. But then it's why shouldn't he be? Because he's proof. He is so intelligent, this lad. If you get a dinosaur name wrong, you are in trouble. You need to know.
And it's not just like, you know, the normal dinosaurs. He goes into detail about like all sorts, like Corythosaurus and Montosaurus.
So
and,
intelligent.
you know, he will tell you if the crest is wrong on its head, and you know,
he's on the go all the time. There is nothing wrong with our boy. He is so healthy. He eats, you know, predominantly a whole food plant-based diet.
Yeah,
he's a smart kid, and this is our way of protecting him now by keeping him off there. Vegan children already have a bit of a burden when it comes to other kids, teachers at schools, and got to do our best to protect them. That's the least we can do. So that's why we are here, today.
No, it's awesome because Marisa actually is part of this event as well.
She is?
Yes, she is. And the two of you are going to follow one another on that Saturday for your live Q&A. So it's just perfect. I know that you know one another. You know, I do events with Marisa, and we part of the Plant-Based Kids Club, and we did the greatest vegan egg hunt ever. Right, which, you know, Jack's a little young for. And I did snoop at him on your Facebook page, so I have been able to see what Jack looks like. And because he's adorable, I really wanted to see what he looks like. And I was like,
he's like clearly not deteriorating in any way.
No.
No, he's tall.
He's got a good punch on him as well. I found that out the other day.
I'm happy to send you a picture of our son, no problem. But he's a great kid. Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you that this is I actually, what's important is some people may watch this and go, oh, that just happened to them. Right? It's like a one-off.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, obviously not all of us are on YouTube doing these live talks, and not all families are doing that, but there are there vegan families.
There are, because I've come across them throughout this networking. I've seen in some of the vegan family Facebook groups, other parents saying, why is my child the main picture for Veganize 2020? Or why is my child on this YouTube channel, their face, and they won't remove it? It's not just us. No. It's happening, and we hear about it because it's happened to us. So as a vegan community, we have a role here to play where we must speak up. That's all we can do. If social media won't do something about it, we got to speak up. We speak up for the animals as a community. We have to speak up against this.
The thing that I don't fully understand when it comes to social media and things like this, especially when it becomes discrimination.
Yeah, it is.
That is like, it's illegal.
So well, here in the UK,
it's illegal in the UK here
to discriminate against veganism because it's a protected characteristic, which came into law last year in January. So here it's discrimination.
Yeah,
yeah, but I don't think it is for you guys, is it? That needs to change.
There's some sort of international law crossover thing. It just
I don't see that happening here anytime soon.
No.
I'm really impressed that it's over there, and I don't know if it necessarily has to do as veganism as a protected class, but just protecting people with their values and their morals and their beliefs There's nothing unhealthy about raising your child vegan or
No,
plant-based.
no.
There's actually, it is healthier for a child. That's what Marisa and I actually just spoke about this yesterday, about how the foundation for your child's future, for adulthood, you're preparing your Jack's body now for his
Yes.
adult body, and his adult body is going to be leaps and bounds ahead of those little kids running around the same age as him or eating hamburgers that are
And
made from
nuggets.
Yeah,
animals.
nuggets, and
Nuggets,
Happy
right?
Meals
And complete cognitive dissonance. And it's heartbreaking for him because his friends are like, well, I want to be vegan because I don't want to eat animals. But
they go home and
they go
their mum
home and they
dad
don't know anything about it because, oh, don't be silly, you're not eating animals, because the parents don't even know they're eating
or
animals.
they don't even use the right words. Like, oh,
No,
this is
a beef
bacon.
burger. Like,
Yeah,
the
this
kids
is
don't know it's a cow.
No,
That's what we're up
exactly.
against. Yeah.
That's true. And all children kind of say, like, what is this made from? You know, at probably Jack's age, they start equating
Jack
to,
does.
because you're reading books about farms, right? What does the cow say moo? What does the chicken say? You know, what does the duck say? And then like on their plate, like so chicken and duck, it actually is chicken and duck on your plate. Fish is fish on your plate, right?
Yeah.
Like a cow is not cow on your plate. They call it beef. Pig is called pork. But, you know, chicken is probably that trigger food for kids where they go, is this the same chicken in the book we just read? Or that farm that we went to visit, and those cute chickens?
We petted those chickens. We fed the chickens, but we're eating chicken for dinner.
Yep. And that's where the parents start doing that mental manipulation of, no, this is what everybody eats. This is normal to do this. And the kids may internally have that, this feels really uncomfortable, but what do? There's no control for a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old. They can't jump into the kitchen or go to the supermarket and be like, vegan, please.
But you know, one thing over here,
like, you have to eat it. You go big and strong.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And then they're like, oh, but I want to eat big and strong. I want to be big and strong. You know,
over here, a lot of the children's programs over here will make references to like the cows. So, like story time before they go to bed, they'll close down the show, and it will be like, oh, we've milked the cows in the shed and they're going to bed now, so let's do a story about the cows. And there's things on, like, it's called CBeebies. They have a story about On the Farm, don't they?
A story. It's a TV program.
Yeah, TV program
called Down on the Farm,
and it's called Down on the Farm, and it's all wrong. It's misinformation, and it gets us angry. But this is what the kids are watching. They're watching all this, and it's normalizing it to them.
Happy cows.
Look at the happy cows, the happy chickens, and look at these lambs. And yeah, that's the issue. And I mean, we did a video a few months ago about TV adverts.
And it wasn't TV adverts.
It was like TV adverts. So you've got McDonald's and Burger King, you know, showing all these families sitting around together at a table, and then some of the kids programs showing old MacDonald had a farm and singing songs. I mean, you distorted it, didn't you?
I made it just, I can't watch it now. It's that.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice, but it's showing what society has been pushing on us for years. And this is what kids are used to. You know, they hear McDonald's and they think, oh, McDonald's burger, but they don't know what goes on.
Oh, you're on about McDonald's as in the McDonald's, and not Happy McDonald's with the happy sheep and the
both. They think the animals are happy in the farm, don't they? But they're not.
They're all happy.
Because that's what parents are teaching the kids. They don't know any different.
Right.
That's why we have to make a big sound.
Yeah, it's a happy meal.
Yeah, the happy meal, that's, you know, the happiest part of that meal is the toy that you get in that box. Yeah, if it's still in a box, I think it might be in a bag now. I don't even know, because I don't eat at McDonald's. But you know, it's hard. It's hard to raise children in general. It's hard for parents to have conversations with children about difficult topics. And I'm kind of curious, is with Jack, how have you explained this to him?
So this isn't something that you do overnight. This is having to be aware of the age. So from a young age, we've talked about animals and how we don't eat animals. We've always talked about that, even when, you know, he was about 6 months starting to play with like farm animals.
No, we as a family don't eat animals.
Yeah, we don't eat animals.
Yeah.
But we've had to have, well, mainly me, because it's mainly me who has these discussions, but he will ask me questions like, what is ham? Because kids at nursery or daycare for you have been eating ham around him, or chicken and fish fingers, and he'll come home and his little mind's going, what's that? And I've had to go, right, okay, let's have a discussion. So ham is a dead pig, and that's how honest I was. Some people might not agree with my approach, but I'm telling the truth. How do you describe what a piece of ham is? There's no way to happily describe what that is. So I told him the truth. And then we had a discussion about death and age appropriate. We've talked about cow's milk and that it's breast milk from a cow, and it's actually for the baby cow. It's not for us. We don't drink pig's milk, dog's milk, cat's milk. Children drink breast milk or formula if they're, you know, if the mother hasn't breastfed. But then we drink plant milk from plants, not from animals. And Jack, we haven't really had to tell him about eggs, because he just goes, well, eggs come from bottoms, so I don't want that. But just the other day, he came home with a party bag from nursery. And normally they check the party bags, and it could have fooled us, because there was like this little round thing in there that looked like a pog or just a coin. And when I got it out of the bag, I realized that it was a chocolate coin. And I said to Jack, because he was like, what is it? And I said, that is a coin with cow's breast milk in. And I sort of said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, well, I don't want that. I said, well, should we take it back to nursery? He said, yes. And he told the nursery staff the next day, well, it's got cow's breast milk in. I don't want that.
But we have, you know, chocolate vegan coins here at hand and things like that. Yeah, we just have, you know, one bag of some
but that's his decision as a 3-year-old.
So he doesn't miss out on anything.
He doesn't miss out on anything. But that was his discussion that he had. And he'll, you know, I mean, nursery are very good. They offer him lots of things at nursery. But I think it was Halloween last year, someone had offered him a bag of Haribo, which have got gelatine in, and he always says, is it vegan? And they must have said no. And I think he knew there was gelatine, and he was like, I said no, mommy, because it's got gelatine in. He's switched on, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
But I think my best advice with language with children is get them to learn from a young age, is it vegan? And I think that is something that Marissa said to us, you know, from a young age, get them to learn that. And that's what we've done. And he does it. He asks everybody, is it vegan? He will also say, are you vegan?
Yeah, that could be awkward sometimes.
Yeah, that's awkward. But we'll leave that for Jack to investigate.
No, it's not. It's up to, yeah, because if he can learn through other people and why they aren't or why they are, it's up for him to decide then, isn't it?
We've had conversations that, you know, not everybody is vegan because they don't understand what we know. They don't care about the animals like we do. They're not bad people. So it's trying to get that across that, you know, the staff at the nursery, they're not bad people because they eat animals. They just don't understand like we do. And I would also get people to try and get the burden off these children. It's a burden for us as parents knowing what happens to animals, but you don't want your children having that same burden, because at the end of the day, they're here to be kids.
Yeah.
They know a little bit. They don't need to know a lot. He doesn't need to know what happens to the animals at all. Not yet, not for a long time. And if he asks, we'll tell him. We can do a lot through books and reading. There's Vivi the Super Vegan by Tina Newman is a brilliant book that you can use with your children. But don't give them a burden. Just tell them enough and let them be a kid, because there's plenty of time for them to ask more detailed questions as they get older.
That's brilliant advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. So one thing that I was thinking of as you were speaking, I made a little note, was what does Jack eat?
Wow.
Air.
Of
No.
He eats air.
Only kidding.
You just had to come in there, didn't you? His favorite thing is kale. Would you believe? He loves kale.
Yes,
But
he does.
he said to me in the car, I want pasta for dinner.
And it's like, if there's any sort of greens, we're a bit, a bit naughty. Like, it could be like arugula, you call it over there. We call it rocket.
Yeah, we just
And
tell
we're
him
like,
it's kale.
Oh, it's kale. And you're like,
But he eats curry. He eats chili with beans. He'll eat a jacket potato.
loves tahini.
He loves tahini on a lot of things. He
Peanut
likes
butter, Marmite.
Yeah, Marmite,
sandwich,
stuff like that. Yeah,
you have it on toast.
He eats everything. But I'll tell you what he won't eat. He won't eat the vegan mock meats because I don't eat them.
We've had an accident where Daddy, I think, called a fish finger an accidental.
He won't eat that.
Accidentally called it a fish finger.
Yeah, he won't eat that now. He won't eat
vegan
nuggets.
fish finger, and then he was like, "Is that a fish finger?" And I was like, "No, it's not. It's vegan." He's like, "I don't want it."
No, he
I
wouldn't
haven't
eat
been
it,
able to give him it,
even though it's vegan.
So it's got fish in it.
He eats everything that we eat.
It's like,
but whereas Adam eats a little bit more junk food than I do because I'm health conscious, Jack eats mostly whole food, plant-based. Yeah, but with a couple of treats thrown in here or there. Like he had a vegan Easter egg off my mum and dad for Easter.
I just like to eat the rainbow and a little bit more.
Yeah, he does. But Jack's got that option. He can have pizza with Daddy. That's okay. Or he could have a flatbread pizza with Mommy because Mommy's eating the healthier option.
You just call it a flatbed.
Flatbread.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can't ever get this right, can we? Yeah. So he eats everything really. There's nothing. He even eats seaweed, and he will ask for more seaweed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll eat everything. So whereas probably a lot of parents struggle to get their kids to eat things, he will sit there with a bowl of fruit. He'll eat hummus with vegetable sticks because that's what we eat.
He loves chocolate smoothie. But
yeah, he loves smoothies.
It's cacao.
Yeah.
Cacao.
So he doesn't have a lot of sugar. He doesn't have a lot of sugar neither.
Yeah, we just call them chocolate smoothies. Even though it's cacao powder.
All right.
I'm still stuck on that he eats Vegemite. Everything you've listed, Vegemite, really?
Oh yeah, he loves Vegemite and peanut butter.
Marmite, we call it,
yeah,
don't we?
Marmite, yeah, but Vegemite and peanut butter, he'll like
on toast. Yeah.
Like, Jack, what do you want for breakfast? He'll either ask for cornflakes without the because we can got vegan cornflakes in, or it'll be toast with peanut butter and Marmite.
Together?
Oh, Vegemite.
Yes,
peanut
together.
Butter and Marmite. Sorry, that sounds so gross.
They even do hummus and Marmite over here, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not tried that.
Yeah, they do a hummus with
Marmite
in it. Yeah.
No, I couldn't do that.
Marmite hummus.
Marmite should be left on its own.
I've got a problem with hummus.
Yeah, hummus.
I need to go to Hummus Anonymous.
Pots and pots of it go missing with you.
Well,
yeah, he eats everything.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely well-rounded, and you're right. Another thing that Marisa and I talked about is that kids mimic their parents or people that they love, that they have in their lives. And one of the things that they mimic is what you eat. So if you have a lot of fruits and vegetables in your house, in your diet, your kids are probably going to eat those fruits and vegetables. If you have a lot of junk food or like high calorie, not healthy foods, the kids are probably going to gravitate towards high calorie, not healthy foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think getting them to help you in the kitchen is something we've always done. So he's always helped in the kitchen. But I would also say as well, with any child, especially it's sort of standard over here, all children should be on a form of supplement from sort of 6 months onwards. I think over here, that's what the NHS says. So they say, oh, your children not supplemented. Well, all children in the UK should be supplemented. So that kind of
especially with vitamin D in the winter.
Especially over here.
All year round.
The rain we have.
Yeah, all we do is get clouds.
Yeah.
Apart from today.
So, but it is.
Day.
fairly easy. It is fairly easy, and he's thriving, as we keep saying. He's thriving.
Today was the only day you didn't need to take your vitamin D tablet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I got burnt in the sun.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, thank you so much for being part of this, and I'm super excited for people to be able to ask you questions and have a live Q&A part, because this part's recorded and we're going to jump into a live Q&A right after this. And if you have any questions for Danielle and Adam about raising children, about your bullying story potentially, whatever it is, and heed this warning. It's one of those things where if you've come across this and you're throwing your kids out on social media, maybe you're doing live YouTube or live Facebook, just keep in the back of your mind that this isn't an isolated experience that this family has had. And I don't want it to happen to any of you. I hate that this happened to you. I absolutely adore you, all of you. And it hurts my heart that you had to go through this, especially you, Daniela, because this was really more on your shoulders, your burden. And Adam, your burden was to read it.
Yeah, it was hard
and to
for you.
support Daniela through it, because she was an absolute mess when she found out about it all.
It's not nice seeing things like that about you, thinking,
Especially
wow,
when you
is
read
that
the
what people
comments
think
as well,
of
and you
me?
think, bloody hell.
I'm just a mom, a fierce mom now, but yeah.
And even when I was even when I was not vegan, I did not think that about people who were vegan. That's what I don't.
You wouldn't think that about people anyway. You certainly wouldn't go and say it and point it out. It's just, issues, projection. That's all I say.
It's like some of the stuff in there you could be used in court. If they did anything wrong, it's like, well, this person said this about some stranger. Like, it could have been a matter of days until you did exactly what you said.
But it happened, and
so.
I look back now and I think, wow, at least it did happen to us, because we have a platform to shout our mouths off about it. Very difficult to shout your mouths off about it when you don't have a platform already existing. So there is so much good that came from it, definitely.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for sharing your story and being a part of this. And you know me, I will help you shout your story out to the world as well, because it's something that needs to be heard. So again, thank you. And let's move on to the live Q&A.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.